Hello, everybody. We are back for another Normies Decide sub versus dub attack on Titan. Erwin Smith. That's a lot of subtitles. But you guys liked the last one, or we're assuming you did because we're filming this before the last one even came out. Say hello, Couch Crew.
Hi.
Names.
Rana.
I'm Pat.
Mikasa.
Navi.
It's Mickey.
And
it's
I'm
Mike.
I'm Serge. I will be the host again. We are going to be playing 4 scenes from both the dub voice actor and the sub voice actor, this time for Erwin Smith. We have a new guest on the couch here in the form of Marketica. We are hoping that you can be unbiased as well. I know there's more people here from the sub crew than the dub crew, but everyone here should be unbiased. This is not a win or lose thing. This is not us trying to, I have to say this every time, this is not us trying to put down any of the voice actors. They are very talented people. It is simply a subjective, fun game we decided to hopefully have you guys argue in the comments and raise the algorithm for us. And
There you go. For the
but be nice. Yeah,
Explain dip
yes,
to Marquetta.
I should explain deep. So
Deep? Oh, is this the evaluators?
Yeah.
yes, this is the
This is
criteria. So we're judging
Criterion.
on a very deep level. Okay,
Very deep
That's
level.
D,
This layer.
E, and P.
I know you came up with this.
Yes, I did. So D is for dialogue. If that's confusing, it's basically what the actual script says. So if you prefer like what the sub script said or what the dub script actually said. E is energy and emotion. It's like how well they're throwing their voice, pitch, cadence. The last one is personality, and that's purely subjective. That's up to you guys. If you feel like it fits the character better.
I love that us schleps are evaluating professional voice actors.
Yes.
Normies decide.
Yes.
Yep.
We gotta do something.
So yeah,
Deep.
I will play the scene. You guys will have a brief discussion about it, what you prefer, and then once we get through all, we'll kind of have a final discussion.
Again, remember, be unbiased.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm talking to everybody.
I don't see a mirror in front of you.
Hey, stop being mean.
You know what's best? It's not sub, it's not dub, it's the manga.
The mangoes. Yeah,
The
if
mango.
you
Imagination
didn't
voice.
know already, Marquetta has done a couple of very awesome video essays.
That we can't watch.
By couple, he means one.
Yes,
I want
but you're working on another one.
I want to watch it.
So check out that content piece, ladies and gentlemen. And now, let us begin.
Do it.
Erwin Smith.
My favorite character.
Let's do it. He's your favorite character?
Yeah, he's my
nice.
favorite.
So the dub voice actor is J. Michael Tatum.
Michael Tatum.
Tatum.
Another good basketball player.
Cool guy. So J. Michael Tatum is engaged to fellow voice actor Brandon McInnes, aka Sir Night-Eye from My Hero Academia. He had a speech impediment as a kid. Speech coach
Nice.
told him to do theater to try to rectify that, and it got better and better.
Damn,
And he
good
got
shit.
more interested in theater while he was doing it. So, in Erwin speeches, you got a speech
You
impediment.
got to throw your voice for
Good
theater.
coach.
It's very
Yeah.
different from on-camera stuff.
For sure. Notable roles: Eniru, One Piece. I don't know who
Kami.
that is.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just
The god
met him.
Eneru.
Tenya Ida, My Hero Academia, Scar from Full Metal Alchemist,
Oh.
Both of my favorites.
Fruits
Ooh,
Basket.
Katsuya Honda.
This is the reboot Fruits Basket from 2019, apparently.
Should be the same story. I haven't seen a new one then.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
And the sub voice actor, here he is. His name is, and I looked up the pronunciation, it's Daisuke Ono.
That's an anime pose right there.
Those are very strong color traces.
The Japanese
Love.
voice actor poses are like always so like fly. Started voice acting in 2002. Started out in production, had trouble directing, so moved into the radio and became part of the staff due to a shortage. And that's how he kind of discovered his knack. His notable roles, Jotaro from JoJo's. We actually don't watch many of this. The second user of One for All from My Hero Academia. Silver the Hedgehog. So we don't, probably haven't heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silver. There's a silver one.
I chose scenes from each of the seasons that Erwin is in.
I hope you picked the right scene for Urban, bro. I hope you do, man. If you didn't pick the right one, I'm gonna protest.
There's
only one guy pick that's gonna sway everybody.
I will say,
That's not
I
gonna
did, the first scene might be a little bit weird of a choice, but I had to pick some scenes where he's not yelling.
Yeah, you
makes
got it.
sense.
Yeah,
He's yelling like every fucking
It's a spectrum. We need to see calm.
Yeah.
Makes
Erwin.
sense.
So I did my best with it. All right, here we go.
Erwin, your arrogance has brought hell right to our door!
I know. I acted entirely on my own authority, and I offer no excuses.
Why? Damn you, why?
For humanity. For victory.
I ought to kill you right here and now!
Do as your conscience dictates. My post is yours. The female Titan must not escape. Deployment is through pier. and Byra is in command of provisions. Work with them closely. Do whatever is required
Stop
to
it!
ensure she
Shut
doesn't...
up! Do you really believe this is for the good of us all?
I have faith it's a step forward.
Hey man, if you want to make if you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs, you know.
Erwin! 全て貴様の作戦が招いたことか！
そうだ、すべて私の独断専行だ。弁解するつもりはない。
なぜそんなことができた？
人類の勝利のためだ。
ふざけるな！今すぐこの場で処刑しても上は文句を言わんだろう。
構わない。だが、後の指揮も頼むぞ。
は？
絶対に目型を逃がすな。兵の展開はペール、補給はバイラーが担当だ。彼らと連携し、東の壁際に何としても目型を追い込む。
これが本当に人類のためだと。
その一歩になると信じている。
That's a difficult one.
That's easy.
Yeah?
For
Is
me,
it? How
for
is
me.
it easy?
I got it. For me, it's dub, and I can explain it. I like the dialogue in the dub better. Just the translation of this one. When he says in the dub, it says "Do as your conscience pleases," and the other one says "as you wish." It doesn't sound as good. Does the conscience please? It sounds way better. This is he's a captain. He's a big dog. He needs to have a powerful voice. I feel like the dub has more of a powerful voice, and that's why his personality fit. And in that scene, I feel like the dub was just better. In that scene.
okay. For me, it was a draw. I think Erwin's dub voice is as good as the sub voice. I'll still give it to the sub just by a little bit. Not in this scene, but overall, I give it to the sub.
You don't know yet.
I do. I've seen the dub. I've seen the dub and the sub in its entirety.
I just
Why
think,
is he here?
I just think the sub has a little bit more boom to it. It's got a little bit more bass in the voice. But for me, I think a lot of these are going to be a draw because the dub voice is phenomenal. Like they're both excellent.
Well, I agree with Pat about the translation and that phrase about the conscience.
So dialogue, like
The dialogue,
That
I
phrase
think
specifically.
that phrase
yeah.
specifically was more powerful. But I did like those like emotional breaks in the sub spoken word. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know Japanese, so I don't know if that like was like having those breaks specifically was impactful. But it seemed like it was a break in the middle of a sentence. And I thought that every time there's like a break in the middle of a sentence, it's probably for a reason and it's probably more impactful. Whereas in the English version, it was kind of like sentence, pause, sentence, pause.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like in the sub where he says like this is for humankind's victory, because in the dub it says it's for humankind, for victory, for something else. Like there's three things that he lists.
he says humanity in the dub.
Humanity, but then I think he lists three things what he thinks. Could be wrong.
For victory, for humanity, or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
something like that. I like. It's a middle. Like some of the dialogue was better in dub, but some of it was in the sub. Do we have to pick one?
Yeah, let's make it known. I guess you don't have to right now. At the end, we'll decide all, but it makes it easier to know what each scene.
I like. Yeah,
no, I'm sorry.
I was like, I like the energy sub, dialogue dub.
Rana, you want to say anything?
For me, I feel like both even characters, not just Erwin, but like both characters in dub delivered better than in the sub. And not to say I'm not just jumping in because it's dub. Last game I picked more sub over dub, I think, actually. But in this one, just for me, for this particular scene, how Erwin was describing the victory, the delivery of like what's happening for the future of humanity, it just delivered better as an overall for the dub, especially with the other character too pointing his gun at him. Forgot his name, but even that sounded better in the dub than in the sub. For me.
Also, you said that the sub had more bass in his voice. I thought the dub had more bass in his voice.
I thought sub had more bass as well.
Marquetta, if you had to choose one this scene, what would it be?
Well, first of all, I think the bass is just about the person's like natural voice, right?
Yeah.
Like where it
There could be some audio editing too, but yeah.
I mean,
Pick one.
I will go with the sub.
Alrighty.
It's a draw for me.
We're gonna move on to the next scene. Some of these are edited, by the way. Like this was edited to be shortened, but they're all edited. Sub and dub is edited the same way.
いや、これからだ。勝利。
Is this what I think it is?
人類存亡の命運は今 瞬間に決定する。エレンなくして人類がこの地上に生息できる将来など永遠に訪れない。エレンを奪い返し即帰還するぞ。信号を捧げよう。進め。エルミンダンジョン。進め。エレンはすぐそこだ。進め。この末裔が根絶やしにしてやる。
Oh wow, that was an edit. You jumped to the.
I wanted you to hear his.
Not yet, but it will be. All soldiers, charge! We've come to the moment of truth. Mankind's fate is decided now. There is no future in which we reclaim these lands without Eren, and there never will be. Go! Recover Eren from the armored titan and retreat! Your heart and soul to the cause! Advance! Commander Erwin! I said advance, goddammit! Eren's right in front of you! Do not falter! Shut your mouth, Hellspawn! I'll kill you!
This one's very.
I think the
freaking
growl was
hard.
better at the end than the dub.
Yeah.
But
This is so hard.
This one was hard.
This one's hard.
I think sub for me, but again, they're so close. But
Yeah.
This one, I got goosebumps both times, but I prefer the sub here. But for the translation too, like, come on, give your hearts to
the cause.
Give your heart and
Give your heart and soul.
There's give your hearts, and then the other one was like, what was the
Giving heart and soul to
Give
the
your
cause.
heart and soul to the cause.
There is no in the dub. They didn't have them say Shinzo Sasageyo, which is like an iconic line. So it's hard to like not. But like his advance, goddammit, like that was.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
and so like in the
it's
sub,
great.
like he's just like advance, but in the dub he's like advance. My soldiers don't falter. I said advance, god damn it! Where was that in the sub?
I don't know. Actually, for that
Did
one,
you not just?
It wasn't.
Did we watch the same scene?
It was.
They didn't say goddammit. They just said advance. Yeah.
but I don't know.
Not just advance. There was more.
It's funny, like it's interesting to hear the double. I thought it was sub was way better. I understand the dub part where like it says advanced, god damn it, but it just in the sub when it happens, like it's just such a big deal that he's only thing like at that moment somebody can say is advance, like all your mind, like keep doing this. And I think give your heart is just, it is iconic. It's just iconic in sub. There's nothing you can say in dub that will make it.
He
so
did
that
say
part,
other stuff in the sub while his arm was. He said just as many things.
yeah, but he said advance, and then he said, when Eren is right in front of you, don't falter. But it was like, I said advance, goddammit! Eren is right in front of you, don't falter! I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. I mean, it's good, but I love sub
They have
way
to move
better.
the mount. They say the same amount of words.
Yeah.
Just in case you.
Yeah.
I hands down, I thought sub was way better in this one. The growl was better in dub, but
I also want to make sure that we're not evaluating the quality of subtitles and actually like the voice acting in Japanese, because like that's also like you guys said that he did say more in the sub in Japanese.
Yeah.
And maybe the translation just wasn't there
Maybe
for
not.
us.
And they do that a lot, and I don't know why
Yeah.
sometimes. Like,
Because they do have to match the lip movement also,
Yeah.
so they don't change their mouths for the dub. They have to like change the dialogue to match the lip movement.
Yep.
to be fair though, the way Japanese is, like, you could say anything and it sounds badass. Like, can I give you guys a Duolingo example? All right, so you could be like, それは私の帽子じゃないです. That is not my hat. That's what that so you could say anything and it's gonna sound
But
good.
anything in any foreign language that you don't know is gonna sound like
so cool.
chinga tu madre, pendejo.
Yeah.
Fuck your mom, dickhead.
Yeah, oh man. I will say in his speech, besides like in the dub, the whole goddamn it part, and then which was awesome. I think in the sub, him saying Eren, like we must go ahead and Eren. There, like the way he says Eren's name, is way cooler. And like that part with the emotion being delivered from that dialogue right there, I like that part way better. So this was like a hard one for me because there was like, they each did good. Like Michael and Daisuke, I just want to make sure I give props to their names too. They both did really good in different parts of the scene for me.
I'll give this a draw, but I'll give a slight to a dub just because the last line hit it better. Just because his arm is getting hit off and he still was able to deliver a line like that. That was a little bit more impactful than the subs.
Yeah, 50-50 for this one.
Katano?
I did not like the change of the give your heart.
Yeah.
He said give your heart and soul. He did
just
not
keep
just
in
say,
mind throughout the dub, they never say Shinzo
We don't know that.
Sasageo.
Which
It's
makes
like
sense.
it's like in Bleach when they say spiritual pressure instead of whatever.
Rengetsu.
Raitsu.
Yeah. Which makes sense, but like with the OP, being Sasageo, like it just hits different because that's what like the line is, but it makes sense.
If we took that part out, for me, it's dub all the way. Like I just love the way J. Mako Tatum throws his voice there.
Really?
It was like,
Okay.
I think so. But Ketty, I don't know. I interrupted you, or did you already?
Sub.
Sub. It's got more bass, man. He's got more boom. in his
Listen,
He
voice.
did. When he did a comparison, like the bass.
It's your boy Ida. It's your boy Scar.
I love Scar. I love Ida. Those are my boys.
Patton Runner holding it down over here for dub.
Now what? What's with that smile? Oh, it's nothing. Just seems to me we've taken one more step toward the truth.
Wow, one whole step, huh? Not a good rate of return.
Everything comes at a price. One day we'll get close enough to break through. The wall barring us from the truth will tumble.
お前、何を笑ってやがる。なんでもないさ。我々はまた一歩真実に近づいたというわけだ。たった一歩が割に合わないな。だが確実な一歩だ。我々はいずれ必ず突き破る。真実を隠している壁を。
They're hard.
This one's easy. This
Gotta
one's
choose another non-screaming.
They're
This
both
one's easy.
good,
This one's
though.
sub. I'll give you
They're
sub on
both
this
so
one.
freaking
Really?
good.
Yeah, this one's a sub on this
I was
one.
gonna say that.
I'm gonna say sub.
That always happens. Like, and for Aaron to happen too.
Draw. I really
Just
like.
give one to the dog. We'll be okay, Miko.
Gun to your head if you
I
have to
think
choose.
I'm always gonna give slightly to the sub because I prefer I think he's got more bass, more boom, more just I don't know. It just sounds more.
He had more boom in this one. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I prefer sub, but like ever so slightly. Like this one was a draw for me, but like they're both good. They're both really good.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
can pick with this one too. I'm gonna try to think real quick.
Yeah, it was a difficult, but I think the way he delivered last two lines were better in sub, which is where the dialogue, like where the stop was. Like like we talked about previous when captions could be wrong or what they translated it as, but like just the way he paused and delivered those lines, it just felt a little bit harder. Like, oh yeah, they will tumble down these walls that are hiding the truth. Yeah, it was good.
I really like Michael Tatum's performance in like emotional scenes or like when things go slow. Mm-hmm. And I think this one was that like a perfect moment for his talents to shine. Not saying that he's not great in actions and like screaming, yelling his heart out.
Yeah.
But I think he's really talented in like feeling the slower like and breathing through it. So I prefer dub for this one.
Makes sense.
I said I prefer the sub. It was hands down the easiest one, just because I think the dialogue was better, and like when Nabi said, the most of the scene, the last two scenes were more impactful. Like the last two dialogues were more impactful. So
I don't know. I really don't know because I truly enjoyed the dialogue in the dub. Oh my god. The dub. I really enjoyed the dialogue in the dub, but the delivery and emotion came from the sub more. So I felt I'm gonna have to give this one a sub because I have more likes for the sub versus the dub one, unfortunately. But the dialogue was better in dub.
Truly unbiased folks here. They finally got one dub person that could have had a majority dub win here.
Yeah.
But instead, no, that's good.
I thought you weren't win or lose. What's
No,
happening?
there's not.
Sure.
according to
But
you
at the
guys,
end,
because you
we
guys
will
can't
decide.
be biased, biased.
I voted dub.
You doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Final scene.
これより最終作戦を告げる。総員整列。総員による騎馬突撃を獣の巨人に仕掛ける。 目標にとっては格好の的だ。我々がおとりになる間にリヴァイ兵士長が獣の巨人を討ち取る。ちょうどいい高さの立体物が並んで突っ立ってた。巨人を伝って忍び寄り獣の巨人を奇襲しよう。ここに突っ立っていてもじきに飛んでくる岩を浴びるだけだ。すぐさま準備に取り掛かれ。
俺たちは死ぬんですか？
そうだ。
どうせ死ぬなら最後に戦って死ねということですか？
そうだ。
意味なんかないですよね。
全くその通りだ。全くもって無意味だ。どんなに夢や希望を持っていて岩で体を砕かれても同じだ。人はいずれ死ぬ。ならば人生には意味がないのか？生まれてきたことに意味はなかったのか？死んだ仲間もそうなのか？あの兵士たちも無意味だったのか？いや違う。あの兵士たちに意味を与えるのは我々だ。あの勇敢な死者を、哀れな死者を思うことができるのは我々はここで死に、この残酷な世界に抗う術なのだ。兵士を怒れ、兵士を叫べ、兵士を叩け。
We didn't believe he was dead for like episodes.
Yeah, we did.
He was alive for like one more.
We,
He was.
we refused to believe he was like that.
About to announce our final mission. All troops, line up! We're going to mount a cavalry charge, rushing the Beast Titan directly. This will make us ideal targets for him. While we distract the Beast Titan, Captain Levi will get in position to dispatch it.
Happens to be a line of objects at just the right height for your approach. Use his thralls to advance unseen. And assassinate the son of a bitch.
There's no point standing around. We'll only be showered by more boulders. Ready your horses on the double.
Are all of us riding to our deaths?
Yes, we are.
And since we're dying anyway, you're saying that it's better if we at least die fighting?
I am.
Then who cares what we do? And it wouldn't mean a thing, would it?
Yes, you're precisely right. Everything that you thought had meaning, every hope, dream, or moment of happiness, none of it matters as you lie bleeding out on the battlefield. None of it changes what a speeding rock does to a body. We all die. But does that mean our lives are meaningless? Does that mean that there was no point in our being born? Would you say that of our slain comrades? Were they meaningless?
They were not! Their memory serves as an example to us all! The courageous fallen! The anguished fallen! Their lives have meaning because we, the living, refuse to forget them! And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
Boy, you ain't no competition. No competition.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Sub was
No, Dub.
so
And
good,
I have
hands
proof
down.
Dub is way better.
Violently sub.
That's violently Dub.
Pat, you sound biased.
Come on.
I will say violently sub until he fully starts screaming, and then then it gets a little bit closer. But
He has more range. He had the guy couldn't deliver his range when he was at Flock was asking questions. He was in the high. He was.
I want to talk about that part actually.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the emotional part about the conversation between Erwin and Flocky.
Yeah, because
Flock boy.
there was
I call him
more
Flocky.
emotion there in the dub than in the sub.
But that might have not been maybe good. I don't know. It's how you perceive it as well. So like in the dub, Erwin was more like there's like you can tell emotion. Like there's actually emotion.
Yeah.
Like he felt bad that he was asking them to go forward and do this. He's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. Like this is whatever. But like he brings in the rage later. And the sub, the actor is like immediately like, yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. It's all like the base is there. He's just like strongly saying it.
Can we
There
run it
wasn't
back?
as
Because I don't think you
emotional
guys
as
saw
Erwin.
the same scene.
we saw the same scene.
No.
For me, run it back. We saw the same scene.
You can make the jokes. Oh, we saw the same scene or whatever. No, I'm just talking from my perspective. In my perspective, the sub he didn't have as emotional delivery in the conversation between him and Flock as Erwin did in the dub. But overall, the way, again, you gotta give it to J. Michael Tatum, the way he rages and screams and actually like makes you feel like you're the soldier raging in with him. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I felt more emotion. Like I wanted to go and fight for the dub than I wanted to fight for the sub. The way he threw his voice around in the last few seconds was way better in the dub, and that hands down. And like I've seen that scene go viral on the internet more than the dub, like the sub one.
You're actually right.
I seen
You're
the dub
right.
one
You're
being
right.
played in gyms than the sub one.
Just
So
because it's dub.
no, but
It's because
no,
for mainstream.
it's not for mainstream.
normies.
Everyone watches.
It's probably
Everyone
algorithm.
watches it.
He's saying viral videos like in Spain, France, America, wherever. He sees it only like in
So
England.
like that
Yeah.
that scene was in dub. So like that one got viral. So like, and I just personally think like the way he just delivered the end was just way better. when he had the dialogue between Flock, the other guy was in one pace at high pace, where when he was talking to him, he was actually talking to him as a person, and like in the dub to Erwin, and then he was addressing to everyone when he said, "Is everyone's life meaningless?" He had more range to get there, and then to finally hit it home and bring everyone to like, "Hey, let's go fight for them."
I felt like that scene was more monotone for dub, which was meant to be. It's like when Flock is like, "So you're saying we're gonna die?" He's like, "Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying." Like he didn't, and I felt like in sub he had more of an emotion behind it than in dub.
In the sub, he just said yes both times. In the dub, he said, "Yes, we are. I am."
Yeah, but just the voice felt more.
Because it is kind of a matter of factly like it's fucked up. I know what I'm saying, but I think both of them delivered it in the same.
I think
way.
both of them delivered really, really good, for sure. I think the voice fits better with Erwin in sub.
Are you being unbiased? Because you've said violently sub each scene.
This one for sure. I mean, the first one I said the dialogue was better in the dub and then sub. There are some words, but I think like with the speech, I personally thought like it's in sub where he says at one point, it doesn't matter how you grew up, like it doesn't matter what you've done. Like right now, you're gonna like that's what exactly is gonna happen. And I think in dub that scene was the dialogue was a little bit different, but it could be whatever they're saying in Japanese, we don't understand it. I just feel like the voice fit better in sub.
I think the voice fit better in dub.
But I mean, I've seen both of them. Like it's good to watch in dub because so much is happening. You can understand it much quicker. It's clear.
Dub is way easier to understand for sure.
For sure, yeah. Like especially with that scene, so much emotion is happening.
You
like
want to absorb the
Yeah.
visuals.
Exactly. You can read. Yeah.
Dub is way easier to understand.
Oh yeah, we said that 1,000 times. We're like, if we were watching this in sub, we wouldn't pick up half the stuff if it wasn't for Surge there with us too.
It's
even.
tough, yeah, for sure.
I'm not trying to like be partial to the dub. Dub's always the underdog when it comes to this, so that's why I'll try to like add tidbits, devil's advocate stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm confused how everybody's like very strongly on one part of the
I've had
spectrum
two subs
because
and two dubs.
No, but like with this scene specifically.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I was like, overall, I was like, no.
Because I like them both a lot, and I think they both had
It's close.
certain strengths to it. I did like Pat and Rana's argument about the rise of the emotion, you know, kind of like, and it did feel like in a sub it was maybe like it was like already up there, and it just got further higher from there.
That's true.
And like in the dub, it kind of like started here.
And that's why that scene between Flock, it's like it's monotone. It's like it is what it is, and then it goes
that
from up.
might be like personal preference, like you know, like this is how I would want to be talked to in this situation.
Yeah.
That's why I'm confused with this couch. Is like how are we so like partial to one or the other
Well,
here? Where
I
for
feel like
me, I really can't. This is where I'm like I'm using my tie card. This is it.
I think up until he starts screaming, sub way like it's clearly sub for me until he starts screaming, until like the climax of that scene, and then it's like extremely close for me. But I still think sub gave me like way bigger goosebumps. And I think they said the same things, but I think in the sub he starts with "My Soldier's Rage." I think that's the first one.
Yeah, he ends with it in the dub.
Yeah, I think that was a good call to end it with that one because "My Soldier's Rage" is like the best one
in English. But I just realized in the sub that like you hear him say "Tatake" and like.
He's like
Fight. So I was like, damn, that makes me, because I would say the dub actually gave me goosebumps, but that line is so good.
The height of the emotion of the scene is extremely close, but I'm gonna give it a sub still for sure.
I just really wanna add asterisk to the dialogue in sub because what is the subtitles and what they actually say are oftentimes two different things, and therefore it's harder for us to really like.
Yeah,
we're at the mercy
Like,
of translation.
when like in the sub, sometimes I hear them say Kyojin, which I know means Titan, and that's nowhere to be found in the subtitles. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're at the mercy of what they're
said
giving
it.
us for sure.
But like when it comes to dialogue with like we can evaluate it on English and like that was a really good decision on the writers team to add the rage at the end and replace Tarake fight with rage because that was more impactful in that scene and for us as like the like our Western sentimentality.
Yeah. I think a really good dub does what they did with the Levi scene. Like instead of saying like that's not worth the cost, saying what do you say? Not a good rate of return, because he might have said something like that in Japanese, but maybe the subtitles said not a good cost because it's easier to digest really quickly. All right, normies have decided. Drum roll. The sub is better. Both are really good.
It's so
we have to say that every time.
Like,
I know.
Like he not J. Michael Tatum definitely.
When I got his autograph, I got it for Scar because I hadn't watched the Attack on Titan dub at that moment. And but he was talking to me about, because like it's so the Erwin picture, so I knew he voiced him, and he was doing I guess he had just recorded the dub for this episode. It wasn't out in English yet. And he was just telling me like that was what I just did was the hardest thing I ever did. Like, the Charge episode.
I love that.
Those are
it's brutal.
Those are big shoes to fill in that moment. Like that's the moment.
Yeah.
Like that is the moment.
It's his last moment too. Like that's it. Like he doesn't have any dialogue after that.
So we've heard Levi, Armin. Let us know what other characters from this show you'd like, and let us know what characters in general from other shows you might like to see. You know, maybe Goku.
We should compare the Beast Titan voice.
Beast Titan voice. Yeah.
I want Armin.
Similar.
Armin's gonna win.
Armin's gonna lose. Armin's gonna
win.
Oh, we should do Gabi.
No!